stop, never stop. Yeah. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. Never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Never stop, never stop working. Never stop, you are promise me like my God, is who you are. You are promise me like the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Promise keep light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Father, thank you so much that you made a way for us, God. Because we are incomplete without you, Father. We are imperfect without you, God, because of the sin that we have, Father, that we had. There was no way to you, Father, but you are the one who chased us down, God. You made that way, and you took our sin away. So, Father, there's no way we can repay you, Father, but we just want to give this time to you. We want to respond, God, through worship, through listening to what you have for us this evening as we wrap up this series, God. Would you just speak to our hearts? We love you so much, God. And all God's people said, amen. You guys can have a seat.
Tribe of the One. We've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, and what's really cool about this is I feel like here at Elevate, you guys really understand why we're talking about this subject. You know, when it comes to tribes, when it comes to community and groups, that's a big part of what we do here, right? That's why we do small groups, right? And so we've been having a ton of fun and good conversations in your small groups, just talking about this idea. And tonight we're going to wrap this up. But you know, me and my wife, in case you didn't know, we are expecting our fourth baby. I know. Who would trust me with kids? The government, apparently. But no, we are expecting our fourth child. We have three. We have Jack, who's almost 7. We have Olivia, who's five. Sorry, I can't remember if she was 4 or she's 5. She's 5. She's definitely 5. Yeah, she's 5. And then we have Dylan, who's 2, who's just something special right now. Gosh, she says no a lot, and she walks up to me and she says, "You're rude," like all the time. She's a punk, but we're having our fourth kid. And so what's crazy is, as me and my wife are getting ready for this child to come into the world and to join us in our family, we just start thinking about babies. And what's crazy is, as we kind of think through this, here's something that I've known since before our Jack was born. Whenever you look at a baby, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. As a parent, I can say this, and I want you to understand this. When you see a newborn baby, okay, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute." And let me just tell you the truth: they're not very cute. Hang on, okay. When you see like a brand new baby, like days old, they just look like deformed clay blobs mixed with old people, and like they're not cute. They're really not. And here's the other thing: like we're trying to figure, we're going through names and stuff. There is not a baby in this world that's been born that you go, "Oh, that's a Charles." Like no baby looks like an adult name. You know what I mean? Like my real name is Timothy. I guarantee you, I didn't like show up and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, this looks like a Timothy." Like no baby looks like that. If you're a parent here, you get what I'm saying. Like it's just, but what happens over time, like you kind of grow into your name, right? Like I can't imagine Chandler being like Stuart. You know what I mean? Like he's Chandler, right? His name just fits him. And I mean, he could have been born like Arnold, and I would have been like, "Hey, Arnold fits him, right?" But it's just like you grow into your name. And I remember like when my kids were born, all of their names, I was like, "Oh, I hate these names. They're so dumb." And then like over time, like I really do like them. Okay. But when you see a baby, you're like, "Man, you look weird, like not good." But then I started thinking about this: how come like baby animals are so cute? You know what I mean? Like a baby bear, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I just want to cuddle you," right? Or even like a baby hippo, even though they look like just like slimy balls of like a big grape, like they're so cute. And think about this too. Okay, when a baby is born, a human baby, okay, human baby, they can't really do like anything. That's not true. They can poop a lot. Okay, that and they cry and like that. But like when like a baby cow is born, they can walk like right away. They're just like not prancing, but they're like, "Hey, look at me, I'm a cow," right? And they're just like prancing, moving around, right? When a giraffe is born, it drops like 9 feet, and then it's like, "Hey, I'm here," and then it starts walking, right? Like, way to go, cow, way to go, giraffe. Like they can walk like right away, but we can't. It takes us years to figure that out. Okay, maybe not years. I don't know, like 8 months, 9 months. Parent, I don't remember. Yeah, a year. Will, something like 10 months, 9 months. I don't know. Sometime before college, they start walking. Okay, and so it just takes us time. But you know what's crazy is when I think about that, like cows and hippos and giraffes and monkeys, how they're like, "Oh, look at this, the booger," and like they're just like doing stuff right away. You know what we can do that they can't? We can dream for the future. Now, hang on, hang on. If you have a dog, I'm sure you've seen your dog like laying on the couch and starts going like, and then it goes like, and like freaks out and like wakes up. That's like, we think it's dreaming. We're not totally sure. Like scientists haven't actually nailed it down if there's actually a cognitive like thinking going on or if it's like muscle reaction. But what we do know is scientists have done studies that show that we are dreamers, right? As human beings, we can dream of the future. We can think of something that is about to happen, or we can think of the future and what we want. We can imagine the future. Okay. We cognitively can think through this and we can process through what the future looks like for us. Okay. And more than that, when we're thinking, when we're dreaming, which I hope every one of you is a dreamer. I really do. Some of you are like, "I'm more realistic," and that's fine. Okay. But I hope you do have dreams because dreams are so good. Okay, because it gets us kind of our brain thinking, Christmas lists, jobs, college, which I know sounds crazy, all these different things. We dream. That's what we do. But I want to throw out 2 scenarios for you. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 different futures because as dreamers, that's what we do. We dream for the future, right? And if you already know like what baby names you want, okay, a few of you. Okay, I thought there'd be more. Yeah, Chandler's raising his hand. Okay, how many of you know how many dogs you want? Okay, there it is. Okay, how many of you know like what company you want to own when you're okay. All right. How many of you know like that you're for sure gonna get the PlayStation 6 when it comes out or Xbox 9 or whatever? Okay. A few of you. All right, cool. That's fine. That's fine. I've been trying to get the PS5. It's really difficult. Okay, get it. But I'm gonna throw out two futures for you, and I want to I want you to just think about these futures. Okay, future number one is this. Check it out. Future one, you're getting a tattoo from me, and I'm giving you the tattoo in the back of a truck as we drive down an old bumpy road. And just make it even more fun, I'm artistically ability is 0, which is true. You should see my drawings on the whiteboard in our office. It's not good. I always say, don't laugh. And then what do? They laugh. Okay. Okay, so imagine that. Okay, so now, everybody close your eyes for just a second. Close your eyes. Don't look at the cute girl next to you. Don't look at the cute boy next to you either. Okay, think about that. Okay, so now, again, once again, you're getting a tattoo from me, TJ Brooks, Timothy James Brooks the first, and I'm giving you the tattoo in the back of an old truck. I'm going to add old truck on an old bumpy road. Let's say midnight, no lights. Okay, who knows? Going off-roading. And I have no artistic ability. Close your eyes. Stop staring at me. The girls up here are like, yes. No, stop staring at me. Okay, now imagine what that would be like. Okay, you're dreamers, you're imaginers. Okay, imaginers. Imaginative? That's okay. Imaginationites? Okay. Okay, now open your eyes. Okay, so you've kind of thought through that. You've processed. Okay, now let me give you future number 2. You've won the lottery, and you get a check for $10 million. Now close your eyes. Don't you open your eyes. I'm looking right at you. Stop it. Okay, now imagine that future, okay? Now, which one would you probably choose? And I know a bunch of the weird, like, 7th grade boys are going to be like, I want the tattoo, man. I know they're going to say it. But think about it. You would all, if we're being really honest, would pick the lottery. Future number 2. Now, here's what I also know probably happened. When I threw out future number 1, let's go back to that one really quick. Future number 1, okay? When I threw that one up, some of you already started thinking through, like, the pain, right? I mean, tattoos. Like, I've got some, like, it's a needle. It's a bunch of needles just going, like, and it hurts, okay? You're thinking through that. Or you're thinking through, like, oh, my gosh, TJ stinks at art. Like, I've got to live with this, like, weird smiley face that looks like it's a constipated person for the rest of my life, right? You started thinking through like all that you were dreaming, you were processing, you were imagining, you were going like all the way through the scenario. Now, future number 2, you won the lottery, you get a check for $10 million. Some of you were already going through your list of things that you're going to buy. Anybody was there? Anybody like what was the first thing you thought of you were going to buy? House, car, yeah. What? I'm pointing at you. Yes. Did you say something? What did you say? You'd pay me to do the tattoo. All right, combining futures. I get it. Yes. College fund. Okay. You would divest it maybe in some investment. I don't know. But you see, here's what I know, right? As we dream and think and process and we imagine, the beautiful thing about us being humans is that we're able to not just think and dream, we're able to feel, we're able to process, we're able to see a future and really go through it in our minds, which is something so different from all other creation, right? It's something so different from every other being on this earth, every other animal, every other thing, is that we can do that. Here's what I also know. When you dream, a tribe of the one will create the future. You see, for some of you in your minds, as I threw out these scenarios, you were already creating the future that you wanted, right? With the tattoo, you were thinking which tattoo you want to get, and then maybe how painful, how bad it would be, all these different things. For the money, you were already creating the future in your head that you were going to live through, whether that's a house, a car, donating it, college fund, whatever that is, you were already in your mind, kind of in it for a moment, living in the future. But the beautiful thing about this is a tribe of the one, which is us. We are a tribe of the one Jesus Christ, our God who has created everything for us. We will create the future, right? Well, in our minds, we're going to go through things, but we're going to be able to process through things and go through things, and we're able to kind of go that route and be creative. And when we dream of something, we're able to really think about a future that we want, right? And we're able to create our future. We're able to say, this is what I want, and this is what I want coming up. This is what I want to do when I'm older. This is what I want, blah, blah, blah. Like, we can create those things. And you see, everybody who's here tonight was created for this purpose. We all have the ability to create not just a future for ourselves, but create a future for others. And here's what it says in Psalms 139:14. They kind of lay it out this way. I will praise you, God, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and my soul knows it very well. Check this out. It says this. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am created to be respected, and things you have created me to accomplish will cause wonder. You see, this is why we stand apart from animals and other things. We were created fearfully and wonderfully. Fearfully meaning we were created to be respected and to be looked up to. So that is why we have pets. That's why Adam and Eve were called to name the animals. Like, we were called to be fearfully viewed, right? We were created intentionally for that. But we were also created wonderfully. And what that means is we were created for the things that God has designed us to accomplish, right? For some of you, that's going to be maybe going on a mission trip. For some of you, that's going to be feeding homeless people at holidays. It's going to be different for everybody. But the things that you were created to do were meant to cause wonder. The things you were called to do and created to do and created to accomplish were meant to cause wonder. For the people around you to go, wow. For the people around you to go, how? For the people around you to go, I don't get it. Tell me more about how that was possible. And then we get opportunity to tell them who Jesus is, right? We get opportunity because when we do something incredible, that's not from us. That's not because we were so great. It's because God gave us that ability. We were designed to dream for the future. Now, for some of you, maybe you're thinking, well, what exactly does all of this have to do with being a tribe? What does all of this have to do with being a group of people? You know, when I dream, I'm dreaming for myself, right? Which is true. When you dream, you're probably thinking of things for you. Now, maybe you're thinking of some family members or some friends, but for the most part, you're dreaming of your future. Am I right? Anybody out there really dream about other people's future? Maybe, but you're kind of included in it. So I'd say that's still your future, right? But you see, while we're doing that, while we're dreaming, while we're creating, sometimes we get lost in me. Sometimes we get lost in my future. Sometimes we get lost in what I want to do. And what I want to tell you right now is that God passes on a dream that is more amazing and life-filled than our own. You see, what you can dream of, what you can think of, is not nearly as good as what God has created you for. What you're going to come up with, when I said $10 million, some of you were like, dang, a house, a car, as much sour candy as I can buy in the whole world. Right? Darian's like, yup. But you see, the really cool thing is that even though I'm going to just say it like this, we kind of stink when it comes to really dreaming of a future. I mean, we think of some good things, but imagine that there was a future designed for you that was better than something you could ever imagine. More life-filled than you could imagine, more amazing. What if there was something that God had planned for you that was better than what you could ever think of? Sounds pretty great, right? 1 Corinthians, it says this. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and the heart of man could never imagine what God has planned for those who love him. Grasp that for a second. The incredible future that you've thought about for you, maybe that's a bunch of babies, maybe that's a really cool house, maybe it's a great career, maybe that's baseball Hall of Fame or whatever it is. Imagine that there's a future for you that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and the heart of man could never imagine what God has planned for those who love him. You see, because here is the biggest thing that I can tell you tonight when we're talking about dreaming. When you truly begin to follow after God, when you become a tribe of the one, the tribe of Jesus, one of two things is going to happen. Your life is going to be ruined, or your life is going to be ruined. I know. It's like a double negative there. It's a positive math, okay? Yeah, I went to school like 10 years ago. Okay. But think about this. Here's what happens. When we decide, you know what, I'm going to do it my way, and here's the life that I'm going to do because this is what I want to do, God's going to come alongside and say, hey, listen, I have something better planned for you. So the life that you were planning and creating, guess what? God's going to blow it up and say, nope. Okay. And then let's say you go, God, I'm all in. I'm ready to roll. What's going to happen? The life that you had is going to be ruined. See what I'm saying? Either your life gets ruined or your, somebody say it? Thank you so much. Just paying attention, people. I love it. Think about this. And here's how we know this, okay? There are so many examples in the Bible of people who followed after God and something happened and then their life got ruined. So let's talk about this one. In Jonah chapter 1, who's the guy we're talking about? Anybody know? His name's Jonah. Okay, here's what happened. So Jonah was told from God, hey, you're going to go over to this city, right? He was going and telling everybody about God and who God is and how much God loved them and what they needed to do to follow God. And then God said, we're going to go this way. And Jonah said, nah, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to hide from you and run away, and then I'm going to end up in a fish. And so God said, you know what? If that's the life you want to live, guess what? I've got a better one planned for you here. Trust me. So you know what I'm going to do? You're going in a fish. I'm going to ruin your life. And when we say ruin, sometimes we go, well, that sounds really harsh and bad. But sometimes we need somebody bigger and smarter than us to come alongside and tear it down and say, stop focusing on this. This looks fine, but it's not the best for you. It's not good for you. There's something so much better over here. And sometimes we get so blindsided, we look like this. And we can't see anything past what's right in front of us. And so God says, you know what? To help you see, I'm going to knock the walls down. I'm going to tear the house down. I'm going to just take it all away. So you will start to go like this and look around and say, whoa, there's actually something amazing over here. And that's because that's what God has planned for you. So Jonah says, hey, you know what, God, instead of going this way, I'm going to go this way. So he runs this way, and God says, nope. And he blows it all up and then brings him back over here. And Jonah's life was ruined with bitterness. He was bitter because he didn't want to go there because he knew that he would probably die or get hurt or nobody would listen. He was bitter because God said, do this. And he said, no, I want to do what I want to do. How many of you sound like that sometimes when it comes to God? You say, no, I want to do what I want to do. We like stand in the corner and we want to ignore what God's trying to tell us to do. You see, God took Jonah, who's an incredible person, and he ruined his life to show him something greater. In Exodus chapter 3, we go through the life of Moses. And we've gone through this story before, but Moses was told by God, God said, hey, I'm going to have you go get everybody out of Egypt. Trust me, we've got a plan. And what did Moses do? Moses says, I'm not the guy. And God says, yes, you are. And Moses says, no, seriously, I'm not. Send somebody else. And God says, zip it. I got a plan. You're the guy. Trust me. The life you're living out here where you ran away and think, I've got something even bigger and better planned for you you can't even imagine. You think you're going to fall on your face, but guess what? I have things already in the works. I've got your brother Aaron coming. I've got all these tools that you need. But Moses was so stuck in, this is the life that I want right here, this little bubble. And God said, let me ruin it. Bam. Let's go. Moses' life was ruined by the attitude of, I'm not good enough. Some of you are in that boat. You go, well, yeah, maybe God does have something amazing for me, but guess what? I can't do it because I'm not good enough. It's not me. Then Isaiah chapter 6, you guys can dive into this one. This guy Isaiah does some incredible things, but God says, no, listen, I need you for something. And Isaiah's life was ruined because he was unclean and surrounded by the same types of people, by people who were unclean, by people who said the wrong things. And so his life was ruined because he said, no, I'm surrounded by these people, but God, I'm willing to do what you need. And God said, and then brought him up to something even better, right? And the very last one is this. This is the best example I can give you. In Matthew chapter 28, it says this. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. I am with you always to the end of the age. What it's saying is God is giving us the authority to go out into the world and to say, hey, listen, you need God, and God loves you. Let me tell you about him. All the knowledge that we get here on Tuesday nights, all the things that we know and believe about God, we are called to go tell people about it. In just a second, we're going to go to a time of worship so the band can come up. But you see, this is what we're called to do as Christians. You see, we're dreamers. We're going to think of this is the future that I want. These are the plans that I have. But my question to you is this: are you willing to have your life ruined? Are you willing to say, you know what, maybe my way isn't the best way, and I'm ready to say, God, ruin everything that I've built. God, all the plans that I have, all the futures that I've decided for myself, all the things that I'm putting in the works, you know what, God, come alongside, blow it up, and show me what you need from me. God, come ruin my life because I'm ready to step into something that is so much greater, something I can't even imagine. I think my life is good now, but I can't imagine what you have planned if it's better than this. For some of you, you're like, my life's terrible. Give me anything. But what I want to promise to every single person here is that God has a plan for each and every one of you. And we are called to go into the world and make disciples of people. We're supposed to go tell people about Jesus. Imagine this. Imagine if next week every single one of us brought a brand new person who didn't know who God was. And then guess what? What if the next week everybody brought another person and another person and another person? How many people would get to know the love of a God who has an incredible plan for their life? A lot of people would be changed. A lot of people would come to know a God that is so incredible that we can't even imagine the things he has planned for us. But what it takes is for you to say, God, I'm ready for you to ruin my life because I know there's something better. My question for you tonight is that, are you ready to have your life ruined? For some of you, you haven't been coming to church very long. That's okay. For some of you, you've been here a long time. But a question I want to ask you tonight, are you ready to have your life ruined? What I mean by that is simply this. Are you finally ready to let God enter your heart? Are you finally ready to say, God, I've been doing things my way. I've been dreaming for the future for me. I haven't been thinking about others. I've been doing my thing on my own. And it's been going okay. It's been going in the direction that I want. But I'm ready for you to take it all and turn it upside down. I'm ready for you to enter my heart and to lead every decision that I make in the future, and for me to move forward in the plans that you have for me, to go make disciples of all people, of all nations, to my friends at school, to my family, to people that I'm scared to death to tell them I go to church. I'm ready to step into that because if that is better than this, I'm all in. God, if you have something planned for me, let's go. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be a part of it. But God, come ruin my life. Come ruin everything about what I'm doing so that I can be fully focused, not distracted, and follow after you. So here's what I want you to do. During this song, don't stand up yet. I want everybody to close their eyes for a minute. I want everybody to spend some time with God. If you've never made the decision to follow Jesus with your heart and to say, Jesus, you are at the center of everything. You're my Lord and Savior. You're my everything. If you've never said that and you're ready to make that decision, I just want you to say, God, talk to me. I want you to begin to speak to your God who loves you beyond anything you could imagine. As the band goes through this song, just take this time to talk with God because he loves you. And if you're ready, say, God, ruin my life.
At the space between where I used to be and what's happening. I know I'll never be. There's another way.
some of you, you've made the decision that, you know what, Jesus is my everything. That's amazing. What I want to encourage you tonight is to still remember that we got to continually let God ruin our life to make it better. We got to let him tear it all down so that we follow after the plan that God has created us for. For some of you, you've never made that decision. Maybe you're new to church, maybe you're a while, but you're just finally ready to say, God, take everything. God, come ruin my life so I can follow after you wholeheartedly. What I want to encourage you to do tonight is fully open to that. And so if that's you, if this is your very first time, and you're ready to say, God, take everything, we're going to pray together right now. I know it's a big group. You can stay sitting where you are. I want everyone right now to bow your head and close your eyes. And if you're ready to make that decision, why don't you just pray with me and repeat after me. God, thank you for who you are. Thank you for allowing me to finally see that I need you to ruin my life. God, I'm ready to accept you in my heart. I'm ready to allow you to take everything. And I'm ready for you to build my future. I'm ready to follow after everything you've created me for. I'm ready to accept you completely. In your name, amen. If tonight was your first night asking God into your heart, right now, I know it's scary. I just want you to stand up. And if you're scared to stand up, that's okay. Because what I want to also encourage you to do is this. Tonight, as we go back to our tribe, go back to our small groups, as we go back to the people that we are in community with, you have some incredible people that are there cheering you on and loving you. And that's your small group leaders, your fellow small group members. Tell them about the decision you made tonight. Tell them about the fact that maybe you've been scared, maybe you've been nervous to follow after God, but now you're ready, so they can encourage you and push you forward. Because alone we go fast, but together we go far. And for those of you that have made the decision before, I want to encourage you to tell your small group, hey, you know what? I've fallen short. I haven't lived up to everything that I've been saying that I can do. I haven't been letting God really control everything. I'm ready to let God ruin my life again and again and again. Right now, we're going to finish our worship time. Let's all stand up. Let's praise our God together.
There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was into this and will be through it all. So come and lay in the space between all the things unseen and this feeling. Yeah, I know I will never be alone. Holding back the sea. Should I ever need to remind me? Give you way to me. Got the joy of every battle. 'Cause I know that's where you'll be. I can see the light in the darkness. As the darkness tries to hit, I can feel the love in your head. As the space between you is there, I can feel the ground shaking me dead. As you begin to walk through there, from nothing says to yes. Nothing says to yes. I'll be nothing with the fire. Standing next to you, I'll be another in the water. Holding back the sand. Should I ever need reminding? I feel you cling to me. I count the joy from every battle. 'Cause I know that's where you've been. I count the joy from every battle. that's where you'll be. Count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. God, count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. You were responsible till I was being denied alive. My fears I tried to. He called my name, and I ran out of that place. Out of the darkness, into the glorious light. You called my name, and I ran out of that place. Out of the darkness, into your glorious light. Jesus, sweet and many, come there. You called my name, and I ran out of that place, out of the darkness, into the glorious light. You called my name, and I ran out of that place, out of the darkness, into the glorious light. Come on, sing this out and you rescue. I need a rescue. My sin saved me. The chains break at the weight of your glory. I need a shelter. I wasn't orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healer. Your love is healing. I'm free. I am a future. My eyes are open. You call my name. Come on, shout it out. I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to the glorious light. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to the glorious day. We love you guys. Let's head to small groups as fast as we can. Let's spend as much time as we can together. 9 o'clock, we'll do the drive line. But hey, take this time to talk, love each other. Don't forget, let God ruin your life. Love you guys.
Mic check.
Hey guys, we're finishing up. We're gonna start Driveline soon. Just a heads up. Whoop whoop. Thanks. Go Knights. So pretty. Darian Hodson, your ride is here. Hodson, Darian Hodson. Please don't throw the stick. Maggie Nichols, where are you? Where are you? Hey guys. Maggie, we need you, Maggie. Thanks, Maggie. What? Okay, thanks. Maggie, I need you still, Maggie. Rosie and Genesis, your rides are here. Rosie and Genesis. Olivia Morrison, your ride is here. Olivia Morrison.
I was lost in a love that was built to lose.
Yeah.
And no, all the nights I would lie, try to hide the truth. Got so scared to be lonely, but scared of something new. Painted darkness around me, I see a light in you. All I know, I never felt a love like this. All I know, I never felt a love like this. And it's giving me away.
Randy Fraser, your ride is here.
All I know, I never felt a love like this. A love like this.
Kayla and Simon Castillo. Kayla and Simon Castillo.
Kayla and Simon Castillo's ride is here.
Say goodbye to the past, it's a victory.
Case, your ride is here. Case.
And I feel the start of a rush taking over me. Got so scared to be lonely, but scared of something new. Painted darkness around me, I see a light in you.
Grady, your ride is here. Ava. Grady and Ava.
All
Your ride is
I
here.
know, I never felt a love like this. All I
Bradley Nicklin. Bradley, your ride is here. Bradley.
like this, and it's giving me away. I haven't stopped.
Sophia, your ride is here. Sophia.
All I know, I never felt a love like this.
Sophia, you like here?
Sarah Trask, your ride is here. Sarah Trask. Jack Phillips. Jack Whelan, your ride is here. Ben Whelan. Olivia Gelman, your ride is here. Olivia Gelman.
Keeping in mind, this can't get any better. And now I'm starting to see the truth. Keep dreaming that this could last forever.
Rachel and Stephanie, your ride is here.
I'm starting to see all good things don't have to win. Don't have to
Haley Langdon, your ride is here. Haley Langdon.
this could last forever.
Bye, Haley.
Now I'm starting to see
I'll
good
see
things.
you next week. Jordan, your ride is here. Noah Litchfield, your ride is here. Noah Litchfield. And Jordan. Noah and Jordan. Jaden McCampbell, your ride is here. Jaden McCampbell.
Keeping in mind, this can't get any better. And now I'm starting to see the truth. Keep dreaming that this
Michael
could
Langhoff, your
last
ride is here.
forever.
Ellis
And now I'm
Denton.
starting to see
Karen, Aiden, and Peyton, your ride is here. Karen, Aiden, and Peyton. Amanda Castiglione, your ride is here. Bye, Amanda. See you next week, right? For Friendsgiving. Bring your dinner. And we're going to watch the Friends. You're not going to want to miss out. Mark your calendars. Friendsgiving. November 24th. You're going to want to be there. Bring a blanket. Mason! Bye! Bye, Mason!
You can run away from it all, but like a boomerang, it'll all come back. You can hang on
Zion,
until
your
you
ride is
fall,
here.
but
Zion.
even when you land, you'll be on your
Ride
back.
is here.
Like mannequins, all draped in designer.
Lyric, London, and
Have we
Ari, your
forgotten
ride is
where
here.
we
Lyric,
come
London, and
from?
Ari. Bye, Kat. I'll see you next
And
week.
dreams and desires, must have forgotten that we got
If
bills
Nelson,
to
your ride
pay,
is here.
we got rules to break, we
If
got
Nelson.
risks to take, we got things to say. No one ever said it would be okay, but we'll find a way when there's love, and we got love. Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love. Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love. Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love.
Josiah Wagner, your ride is here. Josiah Wagner.
When we think that we know it all, like a fighter in a ring.
Your ride
we
is
get
here.
knocked
Chance
back.
Rodriguez.
Tread carefully where you walk when the world is at your feet. Stay on
Maya
track.
Angelou, your ride is here. Maya.
Like mannequins, all draped in designers. Have we forgotten where we come from?
Your ride is here.
With bottled hopes and dreams and desires, must have forgotten that we got bills to pay, we got rules to break, we got risks to take, we got things to say. No one ever said it would be okay, but we'll find a way when there's love, and we got love.
Kristen and Ella.
Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love. When all is said and done, our old faith
Jacob and Eugene, your right is here. Jacob and Eugene.
Remember that we got love. Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love. Yeah, it's okay 'cause we got love.
Andrew Fowler, your right is here. Tyson Julia Gordon, your right is here. Tyson Julia Gordon. Nadia and Izzy, your right is here. Nadia and Izzy. Zach, Jacob, and Andrew, your right is here. Zach, Jacob, and Andrew. Also, if anybody finds a wallet, you get a free item from the snack shack. If anybody finds a wallet. Sawyer, Sophia, and Nathan, your right is here. Sawyer, Sophia, and Nathan. Will found it. Will gets a free item from the snack shack. Oh, what a shame I threw it wasted. Clouds will open up, blue skies are we leaving. Hold it high, you wanna run it, but you can't turn the time. You start to feel like you're losing your shine. The grass ain't always green on the other side. You start to feel like you're losing your shine. The grass ain't always green on the other side. Ava Ray, your right is here. Ava Ray.
Just take it from me, you'll be okay. 'Cause it don't matter how sweet it tastes. The grass ain't green, don't worry, losing sleep, you wanna get it. Yeah, you'll get it. Holding high, hold it back, but you can't turn the time. Feel like you're losing your shine. It's green on the other side.
Chance Rodriguez. Chance, your right is here. Chance Rodriguez. Madeline. Madeline, your right is here. Madeline. Your right is here. Miliani, your right is here. Miliani.
Every time I see your face,
Christopher, Julian, and Marco, your right is here. Christopher, Julian, and Marco.
in such a beautiful way.
Clara, your right is here. Clara. Bye, friends.
You should let me
Have a
love
great week.
you.
Hold me now
See you next week for Friendsgiving.
forevermore.
Don't forget to
Oh, I'll be thinking of you. Tell me I'm forever yours. Ooh, you should let me love you. Hold me now forevermore. Oh, I'll be thinking of you. Tell me I'm forever yours. Tell me I'm forever yours. Tell me I'm forever yours.
Blake, you're right here, Blake.
Tell me I'm forever yours.
My side must be fun.
You won't ever have to try to live by anybody else's rules. It'll be just you and I together in the altitude. Ooh, you should let me love you. Hold me now forevermore. Oh, I'll be thinking of you. Tell me I'm This is where we
Avery,
come
you're
from,
right here,
yeah, we did it.
Avery.
City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it.